Hello everyone, I'm Megumi Tanno. I just played Professor Tsaruka-san today, Schubert Fantasy, which is one of the most important Quatre-Mains, four hands piece in piano history. So we are still a bit, excited, just finished this big work today together. So I would like to thanks to you first, and without you, it could have not been so beautifully done. So it was really happy to be with you, happy to play with you, happy to be with the gorgeous instrument which Behishita in Japan prepared for us, especially special thanks to Eri Nonaka. She was the whole time with us to each piece she needed to tune, because this piano built in 1830, it's nearly 200 years ago, the piano, and still we are in Japan, and still this piano exists and playable. You know, historical instrument usually in a museum we can see a lot, but anyway, now that playable, and we made beautiful music together and breathing together with wood and with your soul. So for me, still I'm a bit too excited to speak, but anyway, so you tell me.
Eri was absolutely beautiful, and
our tuner, Eri,
I have had recorded many CDs, and I believe we both share great passion and love to original instruments versus copies. So whenever there is the possibility of playing on these gorgeous instruments, we jump on the opportunity, because there is so much character and beauty, and one can truly feel the past. However, they are also less stable and more capricious. And in the past, having recorded on original instruments,
on the weather, the concert hall, humidity, and everything counts.
It depends on many things. Of course, the condition of the instrument, and this is in mint condition. But I also had many persons who did the tuning and worked on the instrument, who, unlike Eri, who sat and listened to absolutely all our takes.
Yes, amazing.
And showed great resilience and great love, and tuned with great professionalism and great results. Some of the maintainers or tuners I had in the past were not that loving, or have just basically disappeared, went to have a beer and said, "Call me when you have a problem." So I was very thankful for that.
Yes,
and we felt the result each time after she did her magic.
And the instrument itself elevated higher and higher, no? The quality,
Absolutely.
So to say. So how do you feel now that after because it's very intense, the piece itself, very powerful, intense, very much sadness inside, and also joyful, lot of dance, lot of lied, as Schubert is king of the lied maker.
Yes.
How do you see this piece, or how do you feel now right after the performance?
I'm ready for my beer. And no, you said that very beautifully, and what is fascinating about the fantasy, among many other things, is that it is not the longest work by Schubert for four hands, because we have things like the Grand Duo, for example. But the structure is extremely complex and beautiful, and in many ways similar to the great Wanderer fantasy that we have both played, which has four parts, right? Allegro, and then a slow part. And then we have a scherzo, and then there is a complex fugue, and this is all a sort of a combination between the sonata form and a more free fantasy. So this is quite a challenge to perform this.
To keep concentration.
With the concentration and to somehow unify all of these very different colors and characteristics. But I think, if I may say so, that we did rather splendidly.
Sure.
I'm very, very happy.
Yeah.
And it is always such a pleasure to play with you.
Thank you. Arigato.
Always such a pleasure.
And on this instrument, how do you find? Yeah, sure, you already said, thanks to Eri-san, but because very rare to really to touch such an instrument, no, in all of the world. I mean, we can also play a lot in the history, how you say, the copy or replica. But today, I mean, not only today, actually 2 days, we could touch this.
I'm so impressed. I've always loved Japan since my first visit. There is so much to love. Concerning historical keyboards and early music, there is just so much marvelous stuff happening.
Yeah.
And there are so many very, very, very fine Japanese early keyboard performers all over the world who play with such beautiful filigree and sensitiveness. And you're definitely
thank you.
at the top of that list. And I'm just so touched always to see all this love and all this care and the fact that we can have this Rosenberger in absolutely mint condition and have that for 2 days in this beautiful hall and perform, because it does feel very much like the perfect instrument to perform Schubert's music for 4 hands. And one discovers so many things, right? When we study historical keyboards, so much of the scores, so much of the notation makes perfect sense suddenly. So I'm always deeply grateful. It is always for me a wonderful journey and a great learning experience, because one learns as one records, as we play together, as we listen to each other, as we play this genre, this art of 4 hands piano playing, which is so wonderfully complex and challenging, because you have to absolutely listen and fine 4 hands piano ensembles listen to each other and actually manage to adapt to each other. And I feel that is the case playing with you, that I can actually do anything that I wish to do within reason, and that you will follow. And I try to give you the same freedom.
Yeah.
And the same space.
Yeah, today, in the last take, actually, there was a very special moment for me that, one first place, I played a bit my right hand, and Professor Tsarukason's left hand was, because of the Quatre-Mains, always one has to be, like a position, taking the position. And I was, our hand was not accidentally, but something like, we were like, But the second time, same melody, but the second time, immediately inside of the performance, Mihiael-san gave me the space, and I thought, that is very beautiful, because one can always make a mistake, but immediately, in the performance, not in the practice, but in the concert or in real performance, immediately can change, and immediately what Mihiael-san did, the changing fingering, his left hand, and I can immediately notice, wow, now I can have this double third, which is very difficult place for us to play. But this immediately Mihiael-san changed the fingering. So it means while we were playing, we are still thinking for each other.
Right.
Because as you said in Yamamoto collection in Osaka, also same thing, like one becomes better person, becomes better person, always others also become influent better, and then we integrate or we elevate music itself, but also our humanity itself. That was very, if you can say a bit more about this, and this could be the end of this.
Absolutely,
yes.
I do believe that, and for me, 4 hands is not only fantastically meticulous work, because you have to listen so carefully, you have to play with exactly the same touch, you have to share the pedal or several pedals, you have to share the space, of course, and that is especially a sort of a poignant point when one plays historical keyboards, and there are many other challenges, because after all we did not learn to play them since we were 5 or 6 years old. And I believe that the chamber music in general, and this is one of the reasons I love that, we actually we are not that concerned about giving our best, listening to the other or to the others and making them sound at their best. And by doing that, by bringing them higher, by elevating them, as you said, we also become better. And the same applies to the other chamber music partner or partners. They also elevate you. And this is actually an absolutely gorgeous humanistic experience of the best possible kind, where we all get a bit closer to the gods or to God by doing that, and we bring out in the other the most beautiful or the best of his or her capability.
Yeah, so the compass of a Fortepiano, now we see that this is of course much smaller, not much, but much smaller than modern pianos. So we are much more closer. That's why I think four hands as a form, like man and woman, some romantic like thing also. But the music today you heard, the Schubert music is such a complex and serious, and this is philosophically we so much like each other, respect each other, but also giving a space also for others, and it's a lot of in German we say like to be Gespräch, like really often you say the conversation, because the meaningful or importance of a conversation is missing in this world now where we live, 2026. No, it's really real Gespräch, how you say, real conversation that we can always learn to play Schubert on, especially on historical keyboard, because very intimate. That you are really naked actually, no? Like that is one of the most beautiful things in life I found.
Absolutely. And we are conserving the beautiful memory and bringing back to life those instruments, but also we are conserving Western culture, which is so important for us. And I love to teach, and I love to hopefully be a decent pedagogue, and I have so many students whom I taught 10, 15, 20 years ago, because I'm not unfortunately that young anymore. And they are still, several are still very, very dear friends, and several tells me that I have really changed their life. But of course, I'm not the one who changed their life. It is music and art that planted something in them, that gave something to their soul, that gave something. And this is something that in order to continue and to evolve, and in order to continue and preserve beauty and intellect and all of the things that in many parts of the world we kind of see the opposite today, we have to continue and fight and to preserve that. And therefore I'm always very grateful for the opportunity of playing some of the most beautiful repertoire ever written with a wonderful musician on a marvelous instrument, and to continue this very worthwhile, from my perspective, fight for Western culture.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. That was very, very good conversation, and we hope our beautiful work today resonate in your heart, and then we continue a journey together.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. ありがとう。丹野めぐみオフィシャル YouTube をいつもご覧くださりありがとうございます。新しいコンテンツを毎週金曜日日本時間の17時より配信しております。ご登録がまだの方はぜひチャンネル登録をお願いいたします。